Sorry guys, it's been a while since I've done a live stream. Been tired and stuff, working on with work. We haven't given up on the power hammer because I'm really gonna need it. So, update got, if you look over there, there's some 2-inch and 2.5-inch square tubing. The 2.5-inch square tubing is gonna fit perfectly in a ram guide. So that made me happy. So what you gotta do, you see this round disc right here? I had to use this plate earlier for welding, like a week ago. So I gotta grind it flat so there's no wheel level to it. And then we're gonna have to preheat this plate and this disc. And luckily I got a propane tank and the weed burner, and we'll be able to preheat that so we don't struggle with the weld. And the wood holder, I gotta tidy it up later on, but it does work. But unfortunately the wood that we got is we got it delivered when it was raining out, so the wood was seasoned, but it soaked up a lot of water and the trailer in the rain, so. But we're gonna be working on some stuff. I gotta let that freeze up, but we're getting there. Gotta get my hair protection. There it is. It's right behind the disc. And besides this prototype power hammer, I got this spring coil from the scrapyard. I'm like 260, 270 pounds, and I was able to put myself and stand on it. It does compress a little bit, so this could probably be used for a trip hammer. So this hammer is going to be the big hammer. Like, you know, my goal is over, is at least maybe 80 pounds of ram weight. I might see if it can handle going heavier. You want to be able to afford to axes, tools, hatchets, hammers, billets, low layer billets at Damascus, and wrought iron. As you can see, we got a whole, if you show another shorts, we had a whole big video of wrought iron. And I forgot about the scrapyard. I do got to make them a hatchet or fix the one that I already had made. But Who is the real goose? You know, we get the wood stove going. But for dust collection, we got to build a box. We got to get more thin plywood. But this is an old chimney vacuum. So this is a 1 horsepower motor. This is all metal tubing, and we're gonna have it so that right where the grinder is, we're gonna have a hole through the wall. I'm gonna add some more sheet metal around the grinder because you see we have the pegboard. I'm going to try to cover that up so that way any sparks don't go in there because it's been a buildup of dust over the time. But if you guys are interested in any wrought iron, let me know. I'm going to be cutting these. I got to square this up, but you can see where it tore before I was able to cut through it. So I'm going to sell some hammer blanks, wrought iron hammer axe blanks, or if you need some longer pieces for doing like an old school gate or railing, I got way more of this 2.5 inch diameter stuff. But we got to make a box because we're going to put this outside because this, you see, takes up a lot of room. But we have to make a box to reduce the noise. So when we turn it on with the switch in here, it won't piss off the neighbors. Obviously, I won't be grinding stuff super late at night. Like right now, it's where I'm at in Massachusetts, it's 11:02 p.m. I wouldn't be having that on at night. Of course, you see steel, everything's a mess, but gonna be hooking up the trying to get this thing centered up, and then we're gonna be doing a little bit of welding. In the morning, I'll be able to do more. Earlier, I had the shits. I don't know what that was about. Maybe I had too much wine or other bullshit. But one of your best friends for cold shop working, or you need to preheat stuff for welds, your old school propane weed burner. Because even though we got the wood stove going, all this plate steel was up here or on the ground, and it's still really cold. So where's my croissant wrench? I do apologize for not having a very structured stream. I almost didn't do anything today, but I think there's like a stomach bug or something going around. But I also did kind of drink way more than I normally did earlier, so I think that gave me the shits. Also working full-time night shift security, 4 to midnight shift every day except for one double, kicks your ass. So know what Messi does because I don't watch any sports. Even when I used to play football and basketball, I would only watch occasionally. I'm talking about American football, which I know is a really stupid ass name for a sport where the only time the balls are touched with the foot is kickoff and punting for field goals. Ugh. Okay, I can't find my croissant wrench, so. So it's nice that we got a good deal on the wood. It's like $300 for like almost 3/4 of wood, but the issue was that we got the wood split and just before it rained from the local guy. And okay, this is stupid. Give me a moment. I need to do is in a moment to figure out where the hell I put the croissant wrench. I gotta get a new belt because this belt sucks. Eventually I'm gonna get belt kits so I can actually make my own belts. Oh, well, the next best thing, I got a different milk are your best friend for lightweight, strong seating. I know this isn't the best tool for this, but I got the flats on the flats, and I'm being careful. This is closed. This is a propane tank I got for free because some dude tried just leaving at my old gas station job. And my coworker's like, hey, this dude just left it here. You want it? I'm like, sure. I haven't given up on the smoke project. I just recently suffered a bunch of burnout. But flea markets are your best friend, because I got this big old square. I don't know the exact tool name of it, but this is only like $10 or whatever, or how much it was. It was fairly inexpensive. But tomorrow, we'll be doing more. Yeah, I got this. But I do appreciate you guys watching the stream, and thank you for the likes. What are we paying to get freaking cat here now? I don't understand how. Isn't at all perfect, but there's a lot of leeway. What happens when you own cats in big cat fur in your mouth. Okay, so let's go. Center to center roughly is 16. Rough center to center is a little bit more than 16. So there we go. I'm just trying to get this roughly centered. This plate isn't square, but I got some edges that are kind of square. So I'm going to go slightly past 8 here. And something past, something before 8 here. That is one of the things, like I haven't been able to do much smithing because I took a break. But it does kind of help you get better with eyeballing stuff. Because I can't, there we go. Oh, but go just a little bit past. One and a half, slightly past, 1.5, 16.25. These are all just rough ass measurements. Someday I'll have proper measuring stuff and have more skills. But that's 14 and 3/4. That's I'm not good at math. 14, 7 3/4. I need your help. I can't use my what is half of 3/4? What is half of 0.75? 70. 05 is 30. 7 half of 7. 70. Ugh. What is happening? Seven. works. That's a little bit dangerous. Huh? I can't hear because that shit was loud. And luckily, because this is a lathe part, roughly. Maybe. Actually, I'm going to get my center punch, that way the compass can stay in place. Where did I put that? And all you guys and shit are watching like, this guy sucks. Like, yeah, I don't quite have shit planned out the best, but that is a perfect explanation for many, the reason why a lot of people are accidentally born. People didn't plan the best. I knew I had one over here. I knew I had one over here. You can roughly see that. It's kind of hard seeing, it's very faint. But we got a bit of a scratch we can kind of follow. Not bad at all. A little bit off. We're just trying to get it inside. I knew I overstressed this thing by a little bit, but just a little bit of weeble wobble. Now I gotta move all the flammable stuff, explosive stuff away. water that's forming. That's because the steel is really cold. Propane has a lot of chemical water. Also, this steel is hardened. I use this with my first anvil. So preheating this is really important to get the tack welds on and future welds. It's getting warm, but it's not close to hot enough to evaporate all the water. trying to see past the flash rust. I gotta be careful because this round disc is hard steel, so I'm trying to get it to like 400 something degrees. I had to grind off some of the flash rust because when this thing was cold, all of the chemical water was condensing on the cold steel. Now it's so hot that spit boils on it right away. Preheating because I need to preheat this.
Don't.
I'm preheating that because I gotta weld it. I got it centered.
You're not gonna do it tonight.
I'm not doing a ton of welding. I'm just gonna do some welding, a little bit, and then I'll be done. Don't worry, that was just my grandma. She's making sure I'm not burning the house down because that's the one promise I made to her with the whole blacksmithing thing is I can do this as long as I don't cause any issues. So we got a box all the way around. This whole thing is super hot still, preheated. Tomorrow we're gonna do more welding. I'm gonna bust out the big welder. We're gonna chase those welds, preheat this thing again, chase those welds with the bigger stick. So the old Lincoln will have a lot more amperage than the Thulium, but right now that's what I got. So the Thulium, we just got a bunch of tacks, you know, long tacks, deep penetrating tacks all the way around. So tomorrow, sometime tomorrow, I don't know, I gotta go do stuff with my friend. We're going to get back to this so that way we can get the square tubing, the other plate, and the base plate, and build up our anvil. So thank you guys for watching. Sorry for taking so long to get back to streaming, but thank you guys. Be safe, have fun, make cool stuff, and remember, make sure you got a functioning carbon monoxide detector. Anytime you do preheating with a big torch, make sure nothing's on fire. Right now I got the vent fan on, and I'm gonna get all the welding fumes out, and we're gonna be when I'm done with the stream, I'm gonna come back in like 20 minutes, make sure there's nothing smoldering where there shouldn't be any smoldering. And yeah, again, thank you guys. Remember to subscribe, and we'll be getting this power hammer done before New Year. That's my goal. Let's get this damn thing done before the New Year, so we can make some axes in Damascus and use the wrought iron, the big 2.5 inch plus diameter wrought iron, to make some wrought iron hatchets and hammers. So obviously with forge welded carbon steel bits, we're going to forge weld some carbon steel to it. And while before the stream ends, I made that forge. I still got to edit the how to convert the Venturi burner into a forced air. But again, thank you guys. Be safe, have fun, make some cool stuff.